Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Live. My name's Matt Drake. This is episode 169, and I'm joined this evening by Morgan Harvell. Good evening, Morgan.
Hey, Matty. How you doing, my man?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've been sick this week, and it's
going around.
Not been that fun, honestly. It's cold, and it's winter, and yeah, I've been feeling a bit sorry for myself. So, yeah, no, it's not been good. How have you been? How's your week?
Yeah, man, it's been pretty good. Second week back at work after my big holiday, and I think the first week back I was in a bit of a daze, really. I don't even know if I was productive at all, but this week has been full steam ahead, and it's kind of been nice, to be honest. Back in the groove and back to another Thursday on the show. It's awesome to be back. How's everybody in the chat doing? Speak to us. Talk to us, team.
Absolutely. It's been quite a busy week. We had a tournament down in Mataura last week. You went along to that bit last minute.
I did. Real super last minute decision making to head down to Mataura for the Cloud Factory Clash, put on by Bray Mars and Ethan Stout from the Disc Golf South Club. Awesome event. That's all I'll say, I suppose. Awesome event. Fantastic. Nothing else to report.
Yeah, good stuff. We'll go over the results of that shortly. Also, we had the AGM for NZDG, which was last night at 8 o'clock. I was astounded. I don't know if anyone in chat was tuning in and attended the AGM. I did. I was astounded at how many people attended.
Yeah, pretty good turnout, eh? And even with the voting numbers were pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done I haven't had a look in detail at the voting numbers, but they certainly seemed over 100 or so people voted.
Yeah, well and truly. I was sort of sitting at quiz night last night with Quizmaster Arn running the show, and I was sort of sitting there trying to not listen to Arn and listen to the results and see what was happening. Yeah, cool. It was really good to see. There's obviously a lot of people out there looking to help shape the future of the sport. That's it,
and yes, and it was great to see so much engagement from the community tuning in to the AGM as well. I mean, I can't remember an AGM where the attendance has been that high. Honestly. All of the AGMs I've been to in the past.
It blew the last AGM out of the water, I'm pretty sure.
Well, the last AGM, I got a phone call or a message saying, "Hey, can you join because we need quorum?" So it was we were at it was a little bit less well attended then. But anyway, congratulations to all of the people who were successful in getting elected into members of the board. Look forward to seeing how you all do. I mean it's great to see so many people putting their hands up and so many people getting involved.
Yeah, 100%. Do we want to just quickly go through who the people were that got voted in?
Yeah, absolutely. So the chair who was voted in was Ewan Craig. He beat out the incumbent Brady Cush. Deputy chair Matt Pritchard was confirmed with his nomination. For secretary, Martin McGaw, who we had on the show about 4 weeks ago now, he was confirmed as secretary. Jonathan Simons, who was on the show last week, is confirmed as treasurer. Arne Burgess, who was obviously on the show last week, and we all know Arne. He's the tour director, outreach director, which is Kelvin Cummings. He again was on the show last week, and Lucinda Rawlins was confirmed as communications director. Yeah,
well done to all of those, the ones that are staying on, and the new guys that are stepping up and got voted in. Congratulations to all of you lot, and we're looking forward to seeing what you guys can do over the next term.
Absolutely. The other two three awards that were given out were the Most Improved Female Player Award went to Alison Tweedy, and the Most Improved Male Player Award went to Jonathan Wake. And honestly, I mean, Alison Tweedy is very deserving of that award, but Johnny Wake 100%. Is like incredibly deserving of that award. If you consider
for
he'd only
sure.
played one round of disc golf on January the 1st, 2023, and was competing at the very top of MPO by the end of 2023. So
The other thing that got announced during this, which obviously anyone could have found on the NZDG website, though, was all of the divisional winners for 2024. You all right if I just run through these quickly, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's one more one more award, which we'll get to at the end after you've done the divisional.
Yep, cool. We'll finish off with that one. So, going the 2023-2024 season, mixed open winner, Levi Stout. Open ladies, Hayley Flintoff. MP40, Mikey Yu. MA1, Luke Hempel. FA1, I should say, Charlotte Dunkley. MA2, Ezra Robinson. Sorry, let me scroll down here. MA40, Stu Gilchrist, the Grizz. Masters Woman, MA40, FA40, Kat Headley. Grandmasters, Chris Kingsnorth and MA50. Grandmasters Women's, FA50, Debbie Mills. Senior Grandmasters, Andy Brewster. Senior Grandmasters Woman, Karen Ditto. Junior Mixed, Connor Ants, and Junior Woman, Alison Tweedy. Congratulations to all of you for taking out the top spot on the NZDG for 2023 and 2024. Matt, you've got one more thing to announce?
Yeah, there was one more, which was the Contribution to Disc Golf award, and this was voted for by everybody who voted, who sent through with all the rest of it. And the winner of this was Hayden Shaw.
Well deserving.
Very well deserving. The amount of work that this guy puts into setting up tournaments, to arranging tournaments, to setting up tee pads, whatever. All the visible kind of stuff that you can see when you get to a tournament. He does a lot of that. What you also don't see is a lot of the less visible stuff, which is still equally a contribution that comes in the form of advice, tips, hints, directions for other people that help other people out. Right? It's not just about what he's phically doing. But it's about
for sure. There's a lot of event advice, TD advice, especially on our NZ Elite Series side this year. He was working in the background with all of the tournament directors, mentoring, and then also obviously he came down to GCO and Southern Smash, got involved with those two tournaments as one of the main lead operators of those events. So, yeah, hugely deserving. Well done, Hayden.
Absolutely. So, yeah, well done. Congratulations to Hayden. Right, let's kick into hot scores, and then we'll go to the Cloud Factory Clash results, and then we'll have a look at some of the events that are coming up, with a particular look towards some of the people who are going away this winter. So, yeah, let's get into that. So, let's go through hot scores. Morgan, take us through this now.
Righty-ho, Matty. Down in Queen's Park this week, we've got the fivesome, Stevie Ray Cleghorn, Jeff Lewis, Rob McNaughton, Joseph, and Andrew Barnett, all taken down the Queen's Park course with a -7. There must be something happening in Dunedin this week, because Chingford was not played once, according to UDisc. So Brockville, though, Jack Matthew takes it down with a 6 under par. Going to come over into the Queenstown Gardens, and Courtney Robertson with a -8. Lismore, none other, the only one, Mundo McDisc, again this week, 9 under par. Headed on up to Christchurch, and we've got Kevin Carpenter at Jelly Park with a 10 under par. Kev, you must be prepping yourself for Thailand, mate. I know you're getting excited and shooting scores like that. Keep it up, my friend. Sam Cole at Warren Park this week with a 15 under par. Smallbone Reserves, he's Inchy and KBG with an 11 under par. Queen's Park Reserve, Malcolm with a 7 under par. Saxton Field, 2 under par, gets it done for formerly of Queenstown's Reese Wynne-Jones. And 17 under par for Jeremy Brockenshire at Brantford Park. Spicy way to finish the south. Let's head up north, Matt.
So starting the capital at Berrenport, Brendan Swift and Ben Morrison tie the hot score this week in the capital with a 6 under par. Over at Hikoikoi, Flavio Mayorga hits 5 under, which is enough to take the honours. It's that man again, Johnny Wake, is up in Harcourt Park and shoots 7 under par. But he also found time to get to Linklater and shoot 11 under par there as well. It's a 9-hole course. Let's just remember that. Maryland's Kona hits 3 under par. Callum Petman shoots 5 under round Spa Park Black, and up to Auckland, Henderson, Edwina Mandisodza hits 4 under par, so well done to Edwina. Mikey Wyhan hits 7 under at Woodhill, and Andre hits 3 under at Rosedale. So congratulations
Fantastic.
to everybody who got a hot score this
Especially
week.
Edwina. We love to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Right, let's have a look at the Cloud Factory Clash. Now, you went down to this, so talk us a little bit more about it. Because I don't know anything about Matola or any, what was the course like? How did it go? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So first up, the Cloud Factory, part of the title there. I only learned this when I got down there, but right at, I think if you're standing on the basket of hole 2, you're looking straight down the road at this factory that's just pumping out whatever. It's an MDF factory, so obviously Cloud Factory Clash. It has been very wet there. It had been very wet there all week, so a lot of standing water. It was just wet. For me, I don't have them on me, but I got to test out those new drip socks from Paul McCurdy, so shout out to you. They were awesome.
Good.
Yeah, just really wet, man. Bit windy as well. It was tough conditions. It wasn't insane conditions, but it was tough conditions. But yeah, as we sort of talked about in the green room before, no one sort of played out of their skin, but there were a few players right at the top there that did manage to, get their noses ahead and stay out there.
Yeah. What kind of course was it? Was it a golf course or a?
Yeah, sorry, ball golf course. Yep, and awesome design to be honest too. So they utilised pretty much every square inch of the course. Some really big bomber holes, some technical holes with water danger that was supposed to have water on the hole. Very catchy trees. I feel like I've used that statement once before. Very catchy trees. There's a few discs still lingering out there on the course, including my G-Star Colossus, which I'm very much missing. But yeah, fantastic course, and to be honest, as soon as they put it up there for another event, I'll be signing up right away. It was awesome.
Fantastic. How far is it from Queenstown?
It was just under a couple of hours, so it's just outside of Gore.
Oh yeah.
If you know where Gore is, it's just past Gore, about 10 minutes past there. So yeah, not too far. 2 hours is a pretty nice turnaround time coming from Queenstown. I didn't decide to go until I think I woke up at about 5:45 a.m. I wasn't signed up. Flicked Bray a quick message and I said, "What's the chances I could get into this tourney, Bray?" And he said, "Good, get in the car and go." And Arn, who lives just at the bottom of the street, I gave him a message and I was like, "Hey, pick me up on your way past, bro."
Fantastic. Right, well, let's have a look at the results then. So Francis Orange wins. This is his 3rd tournament win in a row, with a 949 and a 984 rated rounds to take out the win by 4 strokes over a good performance by George Moss, who takes out Ethan Stout into 3rd. It's a surging.
So good to see Mossy up there. So good.
It's we'll see what that does to his rate, his ranking. Actually, you might be a bit surprised. Johnny Ferrari, how about this? Puts over 110 ratings points from his first round to his second round. Figured something out.
He did. I played with him in both rounds, and just it was a bit hard to get going in that first round, and then second round.
Yeah,
I don't know. He had a Jimmy's pie or something at lunchtime, and it woke him right up. And at one point, I was like, I just went, "Holy shit, you're 7 under par right now." Like, where did that come from?
Something happened because let me just make this a touch bigger so it's a bit easier to see.
Yeah, the magic of a Jimmy's pie at lunchtime.
I mean, that's an incredible turnaround. And you think what might have happened, right? But that's 993 was the hot score of the weekend. So congratulations to him, tied for 4th place with Norman Tudor and Jin Kato. There you are, Morgan.
No, I'm not. Keep going.
FPO and Echo Lee wins out over Nicholas Stout by 4 shots. Somewhat of a surprise. I
don't know if it's a surprise. I think the saying I heard out there, weather is the great equalizer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, fair enough.
And
Echo's got
a good battle.
I mean, they're 2 kind of very different players from the limited amount I've seen. Echo's got a bit of a bomb. whereas Nicholas Papson was technical player. MA1 was Kyle Barringer by 5 strokes over David Huang.
Shout out to Kyle for the big win at the weekend. Another one of our Koh Samui players for next year. Love to see these boys going well.
So, very good. Jens Muller ties David Huang into 2nd place. Jack Halliday and Bray Marsden, TD Bray Marsden in 5th.
Who said in the comments here, shout out to TD Bray Marsden for shitting the bed with a few stroke lead in round 2. Lovely performance.
Yeah, I mean, we look at that. He had 3 strokes going into the second round, and did a whatever Johnny had in the second round or didn't have. He obviously stole it off Bray Marsden.
Clearly didn't get a Jimmy's for lunch.
Well, that's it, and he knows better.
I'm not going to lie. There's something in that because I also seen George Moss getting pies for lunch.
Well, this is it. So maybe this is the advice when you're down south. You get a Jimmy's pie. Nikki Day wins out in FA1 in a pretty tight competition. Honestly, between these 4 ladies. Some fairly limited experience of disc golf amongst the card, but a good competition all the same. In MA40, Mark Tebbett by 2 shots over Jeff Lewis, and Arne Burgess ties Brian Stout for 3rd place. Good performance by Arne there. In 3rd, Andrew Barnett rounds out the top 5. Down into MA2, Ruben Orange, and correct, that's Francis's brother, wins by 6 strokes over Connor Rance, who shoots 10 plus 10. Fabian Montiel and Tim Giles are 2 spots back, with Keith Stevens 2 again in 5th.
Hold on. You're right. Sorry, I was clicked onto the wrong thing there. I was like, hold on, I don't know if this is the right results. No, you're good. Right, it was me.
And then in junior division, Levi Simpson wins by 6 strokes over Matthew Winter.
Well done to all the winners.
Indeed. And so, one you'd recommend for people to get to next time? Presumably, it's going to be. Will this be a regular in the calendar now? It was new for this year.
Yeah, it was new. I think Bray and a couple others are sort of trialling a few tournaments down those ways. You know, Dipton, they did the Dipton course right. as well, yeah. Another ball golf course. And yeah, I think it might be a regular thing going into future years. So keep an eye out for that. 100% one that I recommend. And I think after this show, it's surely going to sell out next time.
It's really, has kind of taken off, hasn't it? This kind of rural ball golf course one dayers that are kind of popping up. Kind of started, you know, Hamner did it and then did it a bit bigger this year, and
we've done a bunch of them as well. I think they're great getting onto these ball golf courses.
Yeah,
it's, especially these country ones where I don't want to say they're struggling, but you know, numbers are down at these country ball golf clubs, so they're willing to have us come in.
Yeah, they're obviously in a position where it makes financial sense for them to run a disc golf tournament, right, or to have a disc golf tournament run on their grounds.
Yep.
So I mean, that's not to say they're struggling. That's to say that it works for them. It's value for them to put that event on over what would ordinarily be there, which is whatever's ordinarily there. So yeah, I think it's great because you know you've got a course where you know you've got to do very little maintenance. You've really just got to set up a tee pad and a basket, and I say that's it. It's still a lot of work. You still got to go around and
90% of the time you're going to have a really good surface to put a tee pad on, which is hard in a lot of locations that aren't on ball golf courses.
Oh, totally. And so yeah, and obviously a lot of ball golf courses they are kind of they are shaped. They're kind of inversely shaped to disc golf courses, if you know what I mean. So like you can use the natural barriers, tree lines, etc. To your advantage. So yeah, it's right on. I think it's really good, really good.
I read it.
Right. Now, there's a few people, Morgan, I don't know if you saw this, who are going away in wintertime to America to play some overseas tournaments. Did you see this?
Yeah, there's a couple of few people headed away. To be honest, I didn't realise it was this soon. It's really crept up on
Well,
us.
well, last year you'll remember there was quite a few people who went over, and they all played more or less within a short period of time. It was all kind of like almost back-to-back weekends.
Bing, bing, bing. Yep.
This one is a lot more spread out, and that's just down to the calendar and the events that people are playing, etc. But let's just have a quick look at the events that and who is going, so that we can go. I saw this. This has been triggered by a social media post I saw. That said that Nicola Stout was leaving to go to the States, either today or yesterday or soon. So, and that's to play in the PDGA Amateur Masters World Championships, which is taking place on the 11th of June. So that's weekend after next. She'll be joined.
Yeah, that's come around quickly.
It has. She'll be joined by Simon Feasey, who's also playing in that event. And then he's staying for a longer period of time in America to play the Majestic over at the end of June as well.
Yeah, and he's already out there. I think he's already been out there for a week or more already, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Big old trip.
Yeah. Then later on in July, you've got Alison Tweedy and Sarah Wadsworth, who are both heading over to PDGA Junior Worlds, and they're both playing in the their doubles partners for each other in the divisional doubles on the 14th of July, and then PGA Junior World starts on the 16th. Alison Tweedy playing FJ 15, I think, and Sarah Wadsworth playing FJ 10. So Sarah Wadsworth obviously looking to take out her second world title. Michaela Kerr and then Amy Whitmore head over for both the Ledgestone Open and PDGA Amateur Worlds on the 6th of August. Now, this is interesting because Ledgestone Open starts on the 2nd of January, 2nd of August, which is a Friday. And so they play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that's the Ledgestone Open that you'll see on Jomez, right? It's the same tournament. And then after they finished on the Sunday, Amateur Worlds starts on the Tuesday, on the 6th, right? So they've got like 1 day to get from...
That's such a quick turnaround and such a big distance.
Exactly, to get from Eureka to Grand Rapids. Is it that way around or is it the other way around? I think it's Eureka to Grand Rapids. So, which I don't know American geography, but I think I Googled it briefly before, and if I Googled it correctly, which there's every chance I didn't, then yeah, it's about 4.5 hours. So they've got a day to make a 4.5 hour trip and get some rest and some food and all that kind of stuff in those couple of days. So it's going to be a real action-packed, jam-packed tour for them. And of course, we'll be staying up to date with all of that when we get to August time. That's in just over 2 months' time. We're going to be playing that event. So yeah.
Good luck. We're very much looking forward to following along with this. And of all of them, and there's nothing against the rest, I just want to see Sarah go for number 2.
Oh, we all want to see. So I genuinely, I think there's a very good chance that both Alison and Sarah could take out the divisions. I think there's a very good chance of that.
Come on, ladies, you got this.
I mean, well, you mentioned ladies. That's the theme, right? That's what's going on here.
Yeah.
I mean, the ladies are representing. You've got Simon Feasey going over. He's been over hundreds of times, and they all know him over there. But it's the ladies who are representing New Zealand this winter over in the States. So we wish all of them the very best. And Nicola will be the first to compete on the 11th of June at PGA Amateur Masters Worlds, which I'm not sure if there'll be coverage. There may well be like a Central Coast or a Gatekeeper might well be at these events. So we'll have to see. Steve tells us that Simon's playing in MP55, not a very often played division, certainly in New Zealand. But yes, I suppose every chance. I mean, we know that he's obviously got lots of experience both internationally and
it is an interesting division, isn't it? I just randomly stumbled across an MP55 division from in the UK the other day, where they went from MA40 to MA55, not MP55, but MA55 and then skipped right through to 70, I think.
It's not an often played division. I suspect.
Do you think when you find something like that? I mean, these tournaments, worlds, and that are a slightly different. What's he playing? He's playing amateur Masters Worlds. Yeah, so like
No, so
outside of worlds,
he's playing professional Masters Worlds.
Yeah,
right. So that's
so we just got it written down wrong in there slightly.
I do. You're right. You're absolutely right. And he's playing.
Yeah, that's what threw me off there. I was like, hey, what am I reading? Yeah, but what I was going to say though is when you're a tournament director running a smaller tournament, are you looking that closely at the exact age of all your players? Where you're like, we don't need 50s. Most people are 54 and 11 months to.
Yeah, well, that's it.
59.
That's it. I mean, there's no 45 division, so it goes 40, 50, 55, and then up in fives from 50. He's in the same He's in the same division as Patrick Brown, who is obviously very capable, and I think has won a world championship.
Yeah, Patrick Brown is very capable.
I think he's won a world championship before.
I think they need to bring in a MA35. I might need to
MA35.
Send an email about this.
No, look,
or MP35.
Well, it actually brings us. That's a very good question, chat. If you could have your own, what division would you have if you could make your own division? Morgan, you're going for MA35. I'm going for
MP35.
MP35. I'm going to say MA42. And I don't know. So this isn't. No, that's not age. That's MA2, but MA42. If you know, like Divi 2, but for MA40. That's what I want. I want an intermediate MA40. I think it would be a very popular.
Nearly made me lose my drink.
I wouldn't qualify for MA42 if it was age based. At least not this year. So that's what I'd like to see. Anyway, right. So very best of luck to all of the competitors who are going to be over there. Stateside, from the 11th of June, Simon and Nicola both competing. Have I got those dates right, actually? I probably haven't, since I got the name wrong, I probably didn't get the date right either. Oh, no, I did get the date right for the Amateur Masters Pro Worlds. Yeah, excellent. Right.
Cool.
Now, where are we going?
Just taking a wee look. I'm just taking a wee look over into the chat over here, and I'm seeing a good amount of chat about pies and where to get pies. There's quality chat here. We got Johnny Ferrari in the chat. Marinay, go the Kiwi girls doubles. Johnny telling me to harden up. Maddie Ramsey made 40s off BTs. That's an interesting one. I would like to touch on at some point. Tyler, let's go. Tyler, if you don't know, is the tournament director, brand new tournament director for Owaka. Coming up.
We'll go through some
coming up later in the year, but we'll get the dates out in a bit. South Island Masters occurring later this year in Nottingley too, according to Calvin Cummings.
Oh, so that's a
newly appointed Calvin Cummings.
That's a new tournament, presumably, on a Masters. Is it a Masters tour? Because there was a Masters competition up in King Country, from memory.
Just gone.
And
hasn't it just happened?
It had. And that was actually, there's footage of it. If you want to, if you go on to, I think it's Brodisc.
Actually, I just scrolled past it just before we started the show. I did see that Brodisc.
There is some coverage. You can see old fart Phil McLeod competing on that card, which I haven't watched yet, but I shall enjoy watching that. So yeah, part of the Masters Games.
Oh, part of the Masters Games. Cool. Awesome.
Excellent. Right. Now, where are we going to go now? I've got some big news on the quiz front. You're a quiz man, eh?
I go to quiz every week, mostly because they sell beer.
Excellent. Right. Well, there's news on the quiz front, because next week, you're going to want to tune in next week to next week's show. Because next week, we are going to have a quiz. Now, do you remember the quiz we did last year?
Mm-hmm. Sure did terribly.
And I think between you and Brady, you got like 4 out of 10, combined.
We were shocking.
This year, it's going to be a little bit different. There's going to be some more multi-guess questions in there, so you might get a little more lucky. And people will be able to play along at home. So the way this will work is when we kick into the quiz, the question will go up on the screen. You type into the comments your answer, either a name or the selection that you want to go for. And then it will tally up the points and keep them going, and we'll put them up on the screen and stuff. So you'll be able to compete and along with everybody else and take away the auspicious title of the Sweet Chain Quiz winner.
Am I right in thinking Arn's coming back?
That's right, he is. So you are up against Arn live in the studio.
Yeah, that's BS. I don't like that at all. He's a legitimate quiz master.
Yeah, but
he runs a quiz.
Yeah, but all the questions are going to be on New Zealand's disc golf stats. So you're just as much. You've got just as much knowledge in this, I think, as he does.
Look, I think I'm going to get pantsed in this one.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah.
Well, we shall see. Because I'm going to give you a bit of a head start because I'm going to give you question number 1.
Good.
I'm going to give you question number 1 a little bit later on in the show. So everybody will be able to get a bit of a head start on the quiz. And so yeah, it'll be good fun. It'll be good fun. We've been wanting to do this for a while, and finally the data analytics team have sorted their lives out and managed to get it all together. So, right, let's have a look because there's some new events that are coming up, which we were on a bit earlier in the green room this week, and Morgan was taking me through all of the different events, and there's quite a few that have been added in. So let's take a look and let's just check and just mark your calendars because as far as I think I've got all of these dates right. So if I'm missing any, chat, please tell us because it's
Masters. The Masters Championship.
Yes, that's but that's later in the year. Calvin, do you have a date for us? I don't know. If you have a date and Reggio's open and all that, we'll get it added in. Nottingham Giants is this weekend, so we're going to do a pop, drop, and lock again for this. Myself and Morgan. I had to explain how the scoring works earlier on, and if you want to put your guesses into pop, drop, and lock, stick it in the comments down below. We'll be doing MPO for Nottingham Giants shortly. And it's a tough division to pick, or tough tournament to pick from because there's some. It's a bit stacked up at the top of MPO, honestly. Then it's the Waitawa Coastal Cup, end of June. Morgan, you're along to this.
I am. I'm headed up to Waitawa for the first time to play at that course and that tournament. Pretty excited, to be honest.
Beast in the East. It's going to be pretty tough, I suspect.
Yeah, most likely. We'll see. That's all right. I'm taking Mr. Ben Quinn, who won the Generation Series, up there to receive his RPM sponsorship package.
Cool.
Better late than never. Unfortunately, I had to go on holiday. So we're back now. We're locked in. We're going to go get that sorted and then go hit the tournament and head back on the Monday. It is a long weekend.
Yeah.
That weekend, so yeah, only got to take one day off.
Fantastic. Then it's Sub-Zero. And then you'll be back in action again at the Tucker Beach Rush at the end of July.
Yep, 100%.
Just down the road.
In for the Tucker Beach Rush. Yep, literally.
Small Bone Slam is on the 10th of August. Registration opens for that at the end of June. So mark your diary if you want to get involved in the Small Bone Slam. Blood Sacrifice is on the 24th of August, one of the best days of the year, along with the Black Ice Duel, the Midwinter Classic, which is sold out. So you won't be able, if you want to go and play in Dunedin, then you have to get yourself on the wait list. Then it's the Disc Daddies present BDE. So this is on the 1st of September. So this is on Father's Day.
Take that how you will.
Chat.
Take that how you will. You get to choose what the name is. They won't tell us.
We want to know and see if we can do this see if we can work this out by committee. Because I don't know, and I don't know if Morgan knows what BDE actually stands for. So if you want to put a guess into the comments, either wrong answers only or have a guess as to what you think it might be. Morgan, you had a good suggestion.
Yeah, Big Daddy Energy, surely.
Big Daddy Energy, yeah, absolutely. I reckon.
Hayden Body says you should buy a ticket for your fathers. 100% agree with that. 100%. What a present.
That would be a great present, yeah. And then the Hagley Huck is 2 weeks after in Christchurch on the 10th of July. And then the Flight Park Open on the 21st, 22nd of September. Morgan, this is a new one that you're running down in Queenstown, right?
Yeah, I'm assisting running it. Definitely, it's Andy O'Connell's tournament. He's the tournament director. It's on his property where he lives.
Okay.
And I'm just assisting with anything that he needs. This is one of the ones on the Elite Silver Series where I'm sort of helping to teach the behind the scenes stuff and then the day-to-day running of a tournament. So I'm trying to grow these tournament directors from the ground up now and showing them the right way to do things. So yeah, very excited for this one. It's going to be an awesome event.
Where is it in Queenstown?
Pretty much at the foot of Coronet Peak. So when people go paragliding off the top of Coronet Peak, they fly right along the face towards Arrowtown and they land not too far before Arrowtown in a field right at the bottom of the foothills there. So there's quite a bit of elevation change, some big holes, big downhill bombers, some really techie stuff, and we're going to make a bit of a thing of it. I'm excited to be involved in the tournament at home and be able to give it a lot of attention from, home.
Sounds fantastic.
Don't get that opportunity very often.
Absolutely not. The Black Ice Duel, which is the second in the Dunedin series, there's 8 spots left for the final meltdown. So get yourself to Dunedin on the 22nd of September. The Topor Thermal Throwdown is on the 5th to 6th of October. I really want to get to this. It was a fantastic tournament last year. Topor has put on a show, and it's they've got a great property. And I can remember going last year. Actually, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic because it was the I finished a job on the Wednesday. Like I finished there, I'd quit the job on the Wednesday, and then on the Thursday I drove up and didn't start the new job until like the Monday afterwards. So I had a whole weekend of like I didn't have like work kind of lingering or kind of thinking, oh, I've got to go back or whatever. It was just brand new. I could enjoy the weekend, and it was fantastic. Awesome. So I very much look forward to that tournament. I'm going to try and get to that. And then Owaka on the 19th to the 20th of October.
It's another one where it's new TD, Tyler Melzard, and he's supported by the other half of Generation Disc Golf, Adam Rhymes.
Fantastic. So this is so for people who don't know where Owaka is,
it's in the south.
It's in the south. Okay.
It's sort of on the coast, or it's not exactly time wise, but it's pretty much halfway between Inver's and Dunner's coastal.
I'm just going to try and bring up a map because I didn't know where this was. I'm ashamed to say.
Yeah, it's not one of those places you would know probably unless you actually lived, in Otago, Southland sort of region, and you got down for a bit of surfing or something going on down there.
It's here, so it's equidistant between Dunedin and Invercargill, and it looks like a lovely drive in either direction. So if you're near Balclutha, then that's you're probably very close to being able to get there easily. So
yeah, and Tyler has family and spends a lot of time right down there, and he's pretty excited to put something on down there and learn the ways with Adam. So yeah, another one to get excited for, guys.
Mm-hmm. And Extreme in Tauranga, 26th to the 28th. There's a bit of buzz about this one. There's a lot of hype online about how this tournament is being run by Disc Shop, and so yeah. I mean, it's probably going to be really good because they generally put on a
100%,
decent event.
The Extreme is awesome.
Yeah. We'll let you know when the registration for that opens. I've not seen anything of the exact dates, but if you have any inside knowledge on when the registration opens for it, then please let us know.
Yeah.
Just quickly check.
I would really like to get up to that one. I'm going to have to sort of wait till a little bit later in the piece and just gauge where my boss is at in terms of letting people go on holiday for
July the 1st.
More than a week at a time.
Well, Morgan, you've got until July the 1st to convince him that you can take a long weekend off, because that's when registration opens.
Well, more because I've got Oho, Legend of the Lodge, the next week.
You do? Yeah, well, it's going to be pretty busy for you. So talk us through this. Talk us through Oho, Legend of the Lodge, because this is the tournament formerly known as
The Waihi Tapu, yeah. So, what have we got here? Yeah, the tournament formerly known as Waihi Tapu. In our 6th year this year, it's unfortunately going along. Oh, nearly knocked my whole setup over. Fortunately, going along in time, Altitude Brewing, who's one of our biggest supporters and sponsors, they got some people a little bit upset with them for using the name Waihi Tapu when it come to alcohol, which is fair, understandable. And then we had a few people come knocking at the door after last year's tournament and making it pretty hard for us to continue on with the name. And to be honest, I've got too much on my plate to try and fight that or try and find the right direction to go. And maybe it's just time for a bit of change.
Fair enough.
I mean, change never hurt anyone.
It's not going to change the content of the tournament or the expectation of the player experience or anything like that. It's just going to be called something different.
It's literally just a different name. And I tell you what, over the last 5 years, there has been some serious legends created at that lodge, and legends that you'll only know if you were there. And if you want to know future legends, you'll have to come this year.
Yeah, look, I know. I've been meaning to want to get down to play this. It's probably my most wanting to play tournament, but it's a tricky to get to, honestly, from Wellington. And so yeah, we'll see. Day of the Lake is in Te now. On the 7th December. This is another one of the Silver Series events, the one-dayers.
Yep, looking forward to that one.
What I would say is about these upcoming events, and I think someone mentioned it in the chat. Yeah, Anthony Gilbert mentions it. This tells me we need more North Island tournaments. Because all of all the ones that are on this page, 2 are in the North. 3 are in the North Island. Apologies. 3 are in the North Island, right? You've got Waitawa, you've got Taupo,
4.
and you've got the Extreme. Which one am I missing?
Or have I just double looked? No, it is 3. Yeah, you're
Tauranga,
right.
Taupo, and Waitawa. So you've got end of June, and then you've got to wait till October. If you're in the North Island and it's difficult to get to the South Island, right, which for many people it might be, you've got a 3-month window there, July, August, September, where there's no disc golf, PGA sanctioned disc golf, going on before the throwdown, and then Tauranga at the end of October. So yeah, I mean this is I think a growth area, honestly, because we know that the population in the North Island is greater than in the South Island, although not necessarily disc golf playing population. There's certainly enough centres to have the tournaments run. There was no Middle Earth Open this year, which is a bit disappointing. That would normally be in May, or April, May time. But there was no Middle Earth Open this year. So I suspect Fault Line will be run in November. I believe that's been passed over to Greater Wellington Disc Golf to run rather than the Mockers who were normally doing it. It was, since it got moved from August to November, it doesn't quite fit in as I know. But yeah, I think there's room for more. There's room for more events here. There's room for more events. I'd love to see some lower
I
North
think we
Island
need the sweet
events.
Yeah, we need the Sweet Chain Open, Matt. I'll come up for it.
Yeah, look, I would love to. I would love to put it on, but right now, time is not something I have a great deal of.
Yeah, that's
but I would like to. It will one day. It will come. One day it will come.
Maybe that's something we need to look at, Matt, for the future. Maybe even next year, we do a Sweet Chain Open, and you have to be a subscriber of the show for X amount of time to get in.
You have to have liked everything, commented on them.
100% shared it 32 times.
Who knows? It will come. There will be a Sweet Chain Open, but I just don't know when yet. But it will come, and obviously you'll hear about it first on the show. Te Pauhoi Breeze will be October-ish. Talks were to push it further into summer so that wind isn't as bad. Yeah, maybe. Isn't that its thing, though? I don't know. isn't that its thing that it's breezy there. The
It's
wind
the
was
Tabuya breeze.
that's it's in its name, right? We'll see. But
I love it, Hayden. 382 registrants for the Sweet Chain Open. Look at us go.
This is it. The most attended tournament in New Zealand history. I'd love to see more kind of one-day events being held and put on. I know that there's certainly there would be opportunity for a bit of a series, and I know that there's been talk between Wellington, Manawatu, and New Plymouth about getting a series done between those three. So that's the kind of thing I'd love to see happen. But yes, no, that's what I would take away from that, is that there's a slight skew towards the South Island. If you're in the South Island, particularly the lower South Island, then you've got a lot of choice. If you live somewhere in the middle between Dunedin, Queenstown, and kind of Invercargill, you've got so much choice. I mean,
it's pumping down here right now. It's so good.
Yeah, it's really, really good to see, and right. Okay, where are we going now, Morgan?
Oh, let's go to Pop, Lock and Drop It, or whatever way that goes around.
Pop, Lock and Drop. This is Nottingley Giants, which is taking place this weekend. So, if anybody who isn't aware of what Pop, Lock and Drop is, Arne and I did this on the show a few weeks ago. Everybody picks a pop, which is someone they think will play higher than their rating. Everybody picks a drop, someone who they think will play lower than their rating, and they lock, someone they want to lock in to win the tournament. Okay, and the points run as follows. If you pick your lock and you get it right, so you get one guess and you get it right and they win, then you get 25 points. Then you get the number of points your pop pick shot above their rating. You get that many points. And you get the number of points your drop pick shot below their rating. Okay? So there's a chance, and it happened quite often when we did this last time, that you hit minus points, right? Is that you say someone's going to pop off and they don't, or someone, invariably this was this way around, someone's going to drop and they end up surprising everybody. So
and we're just running MPO on this one, right, Matt?
Just MPO, yes, just MPO.
See,
just MPO. So, Morgan, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So my pop for this week.
Hang on 1 second.
That's all right. Yeah, that's all right. I'm just going to do a little quick scroll through the chat here because I want to see if he is. Yes, well, he was here at pie time. He seems to have disappeared to the bakery to go get a Jimmy's pie. Sam Cole this week, my pop.
Sam Cole is your pop? Okay.
Yes, he is.
Okay, hang on. 1 second. I think we might have lost chat briefly.
No, Stephen Dory has just dropped a comment in there.
Oh, fantastic! Yes, excellent. I think we lost them very briefly, but we're still here. So your pop is Sam Cole. Did you say?
He is. It is, and he's just said in the chat, "I feel loved. You are loved." By Jake, maybe by Jake at the very least.
So my pop is Sam Lycan. Okay, now I think that, and we had a conversation about this in the green room prior, about how we feel that Sam Lycan played incredibly well in juniors, played incredibly well in MA1, and has moved up to MPO and is still kind of finding his feet, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say, look, he's gonna find some footing, and he's going to push. He's going to push. I certainly think he's better than his 939. Right? Whether he'll win it, he's not. Yeah. He's not my lock pick. So he's not my lock pick, but he is my pop pick. Yeah.
All right.
Who is your drop, Morgan?
Right now, so we also had a conversation in the green room about this, and I just don't want to do this. Like, I just,
Look,
I love all you guys.
look.
No, I'm gonna do. Hey, don't worry. I'm gonna throw someone under the bus. Don't you worry, man. I'm gonna throw someone way under the bus and reverse over it, but I don't want to do it. Okay.
Okay, but okay, no, that's fair. It's
no.
fair. It's fair. You're human. You're allowed to have feelings and stuff. That's good.
Right. So my drop for this week, and it's nothing against him other than the fact he's the only person registered under PDGA that's not from New Zealand.
Right.
And that's the only reasoning that I'm going to reverse over with the biggest bus, Jeremy Little.
You're going Jeremy Little. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
For no other reason.
Interesting. Jeremy Little.
Really.
Jeremy Little came second at GCO in MA1, right? And he came second to Sam Cole.
In MA1.
In MA1, okay, yeah, no, totally. But it's about his rating. Remember, it's about can he shoot a 964. So we'll see. I'm going for my drop is Jasper van der Meer.
Yeah, so you don't care about credibility of the show.
No,
of yourself. You're just going to throw Jasper under the bus like nothing.
No, I'm saying that he's coming back from injury, so I understand, and so that's something which it can sometimes take time to get back.
Did you look at his last outings on PDGA? You didn't. Well, you probably should have. You're going to get done here, like a dog's dinner.
His last outing was Hamner Hot Rounds on the 5th of May.
Yeah, he's great. He's good to go.
Good to go. I don't know what the ratings were for this. 939, 971. So shot roughly on his... Okay, fair enough. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point of this. Is that you might...
See, I did my research.
And then finally, who is your lock?
I am going with my free to travel to Thailand sponsored player here. Sebastian Falconer is going to be my lock this week.
Sebastian Falconer is going to be your lock. Interesting choice. Interesting. I wondered whether anybody would, or whether you'd pick Seb. I'm going for Francis. I've swerved Francis on the lock before and was punished for it. So I never again am I going to make that mistake. There have been some pretty interesting guesses in the chat. Let's have a look. Tom Baker, Sam Like, and Ethan Stout, Francis Orange. Okay, interesting. I think Ethan will be thereabouts. Remember, this was played last year. Let's just have a quick look at how it played last year. For some... Oh, that's not how you spell Nottingley. There it is.
A lot of people in the chat saying Ewan all day for pop.
So last year, Francis was actually played pretty disappointingly, and Quinn Latter took out the win. With Francis playing some golf he'll want to remove from his PDGA record, I suspect. But what this tells me is that there's very little experience in MPO at playing on this course. Ollie Webb was probably the highest placed player who played last year, so that's interesting. Who else have we got? Anthony Gilbert, Sam to pop, Jasper to drop, lock Francis Orange. Boom. That's the correct choice. I think that they're the ones that are going to come through. Braden, Jeremy and Francis, says Craig Lycan. Who else have we got? Ewan, Seb and Ethan. So this is an interesting one. Ewan at 791 rated. He's got a lot of ceiling to play with. If you know what I mean. So, I mean...
He's got a lot of weight on his shoulders too, though, you know. He's the new chairman of NZDG.
Indeed. I mean,
surely he'll be out there shaking hands, hugging babies, all of that jazz.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. I mean, but he's got 791. I mean, if he shoots a 900 rated round, then he's beaten everybody's pop, right? Because there's very few players. Francis is probably capable of a 1087, but there's very few other players who are capable of shooting 1,000 points above their rating in this division, with probably the exception of you and Craig.
100 points.
Yeah, not much ceiling to play with at Nottling. Well, we shall see. Let's have a look. Arne Burgess says Dylan to Pop. Okay. Jeremy Francis, I learned from my mistake. Indeed, Arne. When we did this last time, we were both kicking ourselves that we managed to both swerve Francis, which wasn't good. Jake saying he'll be representing Sweet Chain proudly with his new shirt. Fantastic, Jake. Make sure you take a picture so we can see how you get on. But look, keep sending through the guesses. We'll go through the chat and we'll do the scores for this next week. Let's go down to FPO, Morgan. Pretty tight field. I mean, this Victoria, Hayley, and Michelle go head to head here. I mean,
is Michelle Simpson moved to Christchurch? Have I missed that somewhere?
She's moved south. Yeah, she lives down south now. She lives down south now. This is well, it is interesting, and I'll tell you what else is interesting, is that this is the top 3 players ranked in the country at that present time, right? Hayley number 1, Michelle number 2, Victoria Speller number 3, and they go head to head in this tournament. Fantastic to see, and they're all, as you can see, there's 9 ratings points between them, so it's going to be incredibly tight. In the past, Hayley's tended to dominate in events such as this, but what will we see this weekend? We'll have to see when. It's certainly a division I'll be following very closely, especially with Hayley and Michelle starting off on the same hole. I wonder if that will play to Victoria's advantage.
Yeah, or will it go the other way and give them both that edge that they need to get to just push right from the get-go?
Indeed. I wonder if that's random. I hope it is, that it's just come out like that. Because, yeah. Looking at MP40, Hemi goes up against Tom Mackay. Anyone out of those two going to win this?
Well, man, like honestly, you can go even further down the line there. I mean, I'm looking at Pete Mackay right there. He's been playing some bloody good golf recently down here in Queenstown. Ed Waddington also, and 919 rating is a little bit sneaky for him, and even Kyle Martin at 919.
Yeah, I think Kyle Martin would probably be my pop in this division if we were doing it. He played well recently.
And then you never know about a Paul Child either. Formerly one of the top players, to be fair, around these parts where I live and further beyond. Hasn't been playing too much recently from what I know, but he's back. But yeah, you're right. Probably down to the top 2, Hemi, Tom, Matty P, and Pete Mackay, I think, actually top 4. I don't know how. It's good to see Mike Foley coming down south as well. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, and so those top 4, ratings-wise, they're spread across 2 cards. So the holes go, by the looks of it, there's 24 holes, right? So by the looks of it, the holes go 1 to 18, and then A, B, C, D, E, F, or I think there might be a G, so maybe one of the letters is missing. But yeah, that's why it's hole A, etc. Why you can't use 9?
I'm gonna go with Pete for the. I'm gonna go for Pete for the win on that one.
Pete for the win. Okay, all right. That's a fair shout. That's a fair shout. I think any of that top 4 might win. Over to MA1. Cooper Solis is 943 rated and is in the highest in this division. Jack Maffey's been playing some good golf. Is second at 937. Then Ben Quinn, who you mentioned winning the RPM sponsorship, is just slightly behind Joel Maunder. I mean, MA1 is always a real tough division to call. Are you calling anyone here?
Yeah, I mean, I think Ben Quinn's going to be right there at the top. He's pushing hard still right now, and I think Jack Maffey's going to be right there with him, shoulder to shoulder. So it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out.
There's also a Dwan Fisher who is down here,
back from injury.
Indeed, and I don't know whether this is Andrew Popham, the Andrew Popham.
No, it won't be. Unless they've somehow slipped him in the wrong division and haven't put his PDJ number in there.
Because this won't be the Andrew Popham who's in the, what's Andrew Popham ranked at the moment? Top 10, I think. He's ninth, yeah. So I'd be surprised if that was him in MA1. Khalil Shearer, yeah, he's been playing well around Andrew Popham left-handed. Is he?
Wait, actually,
Is he injured?
again,
Is he
someone?
injured?
Yeah, chat. We
Sam or
need
Craig?
confirmation on this one. This is interesting.
Is that an injury that's forced him to play left-handed, or is that just for gigs?
Is that even a thing you can do? Not put your PDGA number?
Yeah, you can play not with your PDGA number if that's what you want to do.
That's a thing.
Well, it's not a regular thing, but it's a you can.
Well, I mean, is that
you don't?
When have we? Hang on. When have we seen this before?
Surgery.
I mean, obviously, I'm saying surgery, but I mean, when have we seen it before? When you can optionally?
No, I don't think you have to.
I've never seen it.
I'm not sure it's a rule anyway. I'm not sure that you have to play with your PDGA number or under your PDGA number if you want to. You can just turn up. You could be a bit of a shark and just turn up an event and
That seems cheeky.
Oh, totally.
Because you can show up and then request PDGA to add your number later, and they will.
Yes, you can. Yeah, but
that's stupid.
Well,
don't like it.
And
I'm sorry, this isn't a go at Andrew Popham, because obviously his situation's slightly different. I'm more talking about people just showing up.
I mean, I would
requesting that for no real reason.
Yeah, look, I would still play it under. I would still play it under my PDGA number if it was me. If I was forced to play lefty because of injury or whatever, I would still do that.
Yeah, I'm just. It's kind of a weird one to try and search in the rules on the PDGA app.
Yeah, I don't think it's a rule. Anybody who's better versed in the rules than us, please let us know. I'm not sure that it is.
I'm pretty versed in the rules. I've just never seen that before.
It's certainly not very popular because often people want to get their PDGA.
Speaking on the rules, man, I just had to do my PDGA rules test again a couple of days ago.
Oh, did you?
I didn't realise it had expired, and I went to sign up as a tournament director for an event, and it was like, nope.
I also, mine expired in April, just gone. I don't have any tournaments I'm organising, so I don't have a necessity to do it. But last time we did a rules thing, we did the test live on the show, and I wonder whether chat would find that useful to do that again. Right, so I could take the test live on the show. We could, and so you could see the questions that you were getting. We could go through the questions and etc. I'm sure that would be fine.
The test wasn't so much harder this time. It was way more ridiculous, though. Like the scenarios of every single question. Like I was thinking, I was like, I'm going to smash this test out in like 10, 15 minutes, like I have done the last couple times.
So wait a minute. If a disc hits a log and then rolls and then hits your chair and then hits someone's cart and then it rebounds and then gets caught in the basket at an angle, is that in? And how many penalty shots is it? It's like, bro, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Like,
so who's cooking lunch?
Yeah.
You know, like, what?
Take away the number.
It was actually ridiculous. Like a lot of the questions, I just had to sit there and read the question over and over and over and over again to go, oh, that's what they mean.
Well, look,
it's so dumb.
Chat, if you think that it will be, well, two things. Chat, if you think it would be A, useful and B, legal for me to do the test live on the show, then let us know in the comments and we'll queue it up for a future week and we'll do it live on the show. So if you've never done it before, you can get an experience of what it is. Now I won't be revealing all of the questions because they've got a question bank of like 200 questions or something, and they pick 25 or whatever, and so you might get one or two of the same questions as I do, but you won't. It's not the same one.
Yeah, and we've brought this up before, guys. Like, even if you're just trying to learn the rules and you want to read some stupid questions, it's a free test to do.
Yeah,
and you pay $10. You pay
when you pass
once you pass it.
Yes, indeed. So
you can do it 100 times and not pay, and get all these different scenarios.
That's right. So if you think that would be entertaining for a future episode, then I think we should have a go at it and take people through it. I know we've done it before, but it was some time ago. Now into FA1, another really tight field here. So Nikki Day's coming off a win from last weekend. Rowan Simmons played well at the, I think in the women's global event. Have I got that right? Yes, won the women's global event down in Invercargill. And so yeah, this could be a very tight division as well. So we shall see Rowan playing on the same card as Haley and Michelle. So maybe they shall be pulling along. MA40, the best division. Stuart Gilchrist has got a 30 ratings point lead heading into this tournament. How big does the ratings point lead need to be before the bags of sand are moved in?
I don't think it's a sandbagging situation here. I mean,
Okay.
I know when you're looking at these ratings that there's like a really big, a 30-point gap from first to second.
Yeah,
but
I'm
like
trolling
his rating isn't huge. But I'll caveat that with saying that Stu won he did. He won MA40 NZDG Tour last year, or just this year,
Yep.
I think he may have won the year before. I thought he was going to move up. Not that I had any information on this. I just thought he would move up. But nope. He's here to come smashes again.
Well, yeah, look, it's very much an individual thing, right? You don't have to. You can play in whatever division you like, which different people have got different opinions on, which is fine. What I would say is that he wouldn't be in, he wouldn't be out of place playing an MP40 if he was if ratings alone are to go on. All I'd say. So anyway, yeah,
for sure.
So,
but I think he isn't just going to run away with it. There's a couple of names in there. You've got Lance Essen and Calvin Cummings in there for one. You've got Andy O'Connell and Ben Thompson right there. Andy from Queenstown. Mm-hmm. He's my tournament director for Flight Park Open. He's got a course in his backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't play a heck of a lot of tournaments. Has a course in his backyard. A really good course. Ben Thompson, been playing for over 10 years. Mm-hmm. Also doesn't play a heck of a lot of tournaments. Plays a lot in Hawea. So he's well versed in adverse conditions.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was one other name that sort of popped up. I do not know Alistair Upton. Unfortunately, sorry, mate. Andrew Barnett from Invercargill. He's known to play a pretty hot round or two, pulling them out.
So it could be pretty tight in MA40, that is what we're saying.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Long-winded way of saying it,
yeah. FA40. FA40 tight division, obviously no Nicholas Stout in this division. Tina Himmel perhaps goes in as favourite over Marie Cummings and Nina Duckles. Although Sarah Keane from memory has been playing well, or at least had a good tournament recently.
Yeah, I'm calling Marie Cummings for the win on this one. Let's go, Marie.
MA50, this is always a huge division, real tight. Gregor or Mark Tebbett or Chris Davies?
I think it's probably going to be Gregor.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't decide if it's going to be a bit of a runaway or not. I also think that Akira Kuro is going to be right up there near the top as well.
Okay. It's a pretty tight division. It's always tight in MA50. I mean, the ratings alone will tell you that it's pretty tight.
Yeah. But Gregor, I feel like every time Gregor's at a tournament, it's hard to pass him by as your pick, right?
Yeah, that's right. Plays some very good golf.
He's such a weapon.
And
he
comes in on the hot scores pretty more often than most people, as well, especially around like Jelly Park and stuff. So we'll see if that he can repeat that form in Nottingham. FA50. 4 ladies going up against each other here. Again, it could be. I think it could be anyone's game. Janine Frost goes in as perhaps the favourite, but notice very few rounds in their ratings calculations. So I mean, it's anyone's really.
It is anyone's. I'd love to see Robin Agnew come out on top. Haven't seen you in ages, Bobbin. Miss you, mate.
MA60, James Smithers.
Schmithels, surely the Jag.
Not seen James Smithers been playing in a tournament for some time, so that's good to see. And an Australian out visiting as well. MA2, super tight division, but some players that we recognise the names of.
Yes, Mr. Tom Baker for one right there.
Indeed. So there could be, and then Jake, if he's finished all of his exams and donning his Sweet Chain shirt, will be there, there or thereabouts this weekend, I'm sure. So yeah, lots of competition in MA2.
100%.
And it's a huge. Look at this. Just keep going.
It is. What is it? 132 players or something?
Here's
was it?
Someone who's worth keeping an eye on, and that's Ruben Orange. Ruben Orange is Francis Orange's younger brother.
Who I did not even know was at the tournament this weekend. So sorry, mate.
I think he's about 2 or 3 years younger than Francis, and obviously won MA2. I think it was last weekend in Matoda. Caitlin Murray plays in FJ18, and then in MJ15, Hinato Kudo goes up against Bailey and Noah Gardner.
Let's go, Hinato.
And Hinato has the support of Morgan going into his battle against the Gardner brothers, I'm calling it, presumably.
Sure.
So yeah, let us know your pop, drops, and locks for this week going into Nottingley. It's going to be an interesting battle between the top guys there. We'll have a look at the scores and we'll put the scores together for next week. Talking of next week, it's a quiz. And so here is question number 1 of the quiz. I used to run a quiz, Morgan. Did you know this?
Oh, sounds about right, Matt. You and Arn.
It was. Yeah. It was on a Tuesday night at a pub called the Voodoo Lounge in Plymouth, which was an absolute dive. Honestly, it was a bit of a.
Sounds
it was a bit. I'm not going to dress it up. It was a bit of a. It attracted a goth audience more so. I'm not saying I was. We just had confirmation. Ruben's older than Francis.
Older.
Well, there we are.
Yeah.
So there we go. Thank you very much, Clarity Burntuck.
Oh, sorry. No, I've just had confirmation that Matt's coming dressed as a goth.
I'm definitely not. My days of eyeliner and black nail polish are well behind me. But it was a diver play. Anyway, good fun. Got some beers in and some free nachos if you played the quiz. Anyway, there's a quiz next week. I don't know where that went. But there's a quiz next week. And your question number 1, listen out. Question number 1. The time period that we're going to be concentrating on for the quiz is going to be from Nottingley Giants last year, which was the first event in the NZDG tour year, right up until the Cloud Factory clash that we've just had, right? So all the tournaments, PDGA sanctioned tournaments, not leagues, PDGA sanctioned tournaments is what we're looking at. And I think there's one tournament that we had to miss out, which was the Bramford Bash. And the reason for that was that the Bramford Bash didn't have distances on their hole numbers. So we weren't able to grab the data. Anyway, it's going to be all of the tournaments between Nottingley last year and Cloud Factory this year, inclusive. And we're going to be looking at all sorts of stuff over that time. Here is question number 1: how many PDGA tournament aces were hit between Nottingley Giants last year and Cloud Factory Clash this year? That is question number 1 of the quiz.
13.
You don't have to.
Answer it.
It doesn't matter. You're not getting any points this week. Next week is when you've got to answer, and there'll be a multiple choice option for this. So if you're not sure, then you can have a guess in the comments as to what you think it might be. We gave a little hint on this a few weeks ago, actually. So listen out. It's way more than you think it is.
Yeah, well, there was like 4 at Roxburgh. I'll give you that hint.
Well, okay. So we'll go over. I mean, it's gonna be quite interesting because I think that a lot of the stuff like this, like number of aces hit, number of 1,000 rated rounds shot, etc., is what happens way more often than you kind of look back and go, oh, that's the number that I think is happening. So to give you a clue, okay, a clue on this is that in 2024 alone, right? So this is just 2024, since January. There have been, 1 second, caller. The data analytics team are just letting me know. How many's there been in 2024, Morgan, do you think?
20. I, for some reason, have a Google Docs document from 2021 League Aces, and all by distance from around the world.
24
on my phone.
24 aces have been hit so far this year, and that doesn't include some of the more recent tournaments either. That only goes up as far as what's the most latest one on here? Hamner Hot Rounds is the most latest tournament. So in 2024 up to Hanmer, there had been 24 aces hit that's across all divisions, not just focused on NPO. There's going to be lots of questions on ladies, juniors, amateur divisions in this quiz as well. So so more than 24, Tom, correct. So yes, there's your first clue. Probably more than 24 have been hit, but we're gonna quiz everybody on this, and I think it's gonna shock a few people because like 24, that seems like a hell of a lot of aces to have been hit, right? So far this year. I mean, when we look at 1,000 rated rounds, this is another clue. Do you remember this one, Morgan? Because this will be one of the questions. How many 1,000 rated rounds have been struck in 2024 so far? Between January and Hanmer, there was 155.
Well, let's just say yes, I do know, and I'm not going to tell you.
There were 155, way more than I think that people might think. So, my advice is take whatever number you think it is, multiply by 3, and that's probably where it will be. Anyway, right, that's the quiz. That's next week. So look out for that. Question number 1: how many aces, PDGA tournament aces, were hit in the year between Nottingley Giants and Cloud Factory? That's the question, and you get a point for that next week when we get on the show. Right, let's have a look now at the power rankings. Because the Cloud Factory clash did throw up some changes to the rankings. Here we are. Nicholas Stout moves down 2 spots as a result of Echo Lee's triumph in the ladies division. And Ethan Stout moves down 2 spots. George Moss, you'll see, creeps into the top 20, moves up 35 spots to 20th.
Heck yeah, Mossy.
So congratulations to George Moss for making it into the top 20. Plenty of the top 20 playing plenty of the top 20 playing this weekend. Francis Orange, Ethan Stout, Andrew Popham, Sebastian Faulkner, Jasper Vandermeer, Sam Lycan, Ollie Webb, Hemi, Tom McKay, all playing this weekend. So a good portion of the top 20 playing, as we mentioned, the top 3 ladies registered to play also. That about does it for us this week. So in summary, congratulations and well done, and thank you to all the members of NZDG board who were elected this recent time. Very best of luck to Nicola, who's already flown, I understand, out to the States to start her American Worlds campaign, which begins soon. Very best of luck to everybody playing at Nottingley this weekend. Particular good luck to Sam Lycan and Francis Orange. But wherever you're playing disc golf, take it easy, play well, get some birdies. We'll see you